Hi, I'm Kate Ward, and this is your Dickman Farms Smart Gardening Tip. And it's mum season. Mum season is a fantastic time of year where you're at the end of the season. It makes you think of pumpkin lattes and beautiful leaves falling from the trees and all the great colors and harvest and eating and apples and mums. So that said, here's a couple of things about mums. A lot of people really want to keep them from year to year, and you're in luck. Here at Dickman Farms, we actually do grow zone hardy garden mums. So they are touted to go through our winters. Here's the catch, and here's some tricks if you want them to come back year to year. You're gonna wanna come in and get them as soon as possible to give them the longest chance to actually root in. These babies are so busy thinking about setting up all these little blossoms, they're not thinking much about roots. And so if you really want to try and get them to come back year to year, what you want to do is maybe get two sets, one that goes in the garden and one that goes on the porch. So the ones in the garden, we're going to put in now. Don't wait till the end of the season. So in October, they just don't have the time to root in. Make sure that you're getting them and putting them in straight away. When you do put them in straight away, keep in mind that the way they branch, they can be a little brittle. So try not to, really mess them up. You're gonna put your hand in them very nicely. I have big hands, it's very useful. And you can tip them right upside down and sort of wiggle them free. There's our beautiful root system. As always, dig a hole as deep as the soil in the pot. So only this deep and 1.5 times as wide. It's gonna look like, if you drew it on a piece of paper, a teacup. So in that teacup, we're gonna backfill some nice little compost. You can mulch around with some bark mulch around the base. Once it's in, tamp it in lightly, give it a drink. Now, for this first year, you are not going to cut these back. You will in subsequent years, but this year, once this goes brown and finishes blooming, then goes brown, leave it up. That's gonna actually collect leaves and a little bit of this and that, and actually add a little bit of insulation quality to that plant this year, because it's not gonna have a lot of roots in the surrounding soil this year, because it doesn't have a lot of grow time. Again, that's why we're getting them in as soon as possible. Now here's another thing to know. Because they're so busy, there's a chance doing this, that they're only gonna put in a tiny bit of roots, and they're not paying a lot of attention to how much water they're putting in, because there's no roots, right? Well, not paying attention, but so do not let these guys wilt. You don't have to overwater them. You don't have to water them every day. It's cooler temperatures usually in the fall, but be sure that these guys aren't wilting. Wilting causes stress on these plants. When you water them from underneath this foliage, not over the top. And that actually doesn't matter whether you're trying to keep it from year to year or just pretty on the porch. It can facilitate, especially in cool, damp temperatures of fall, some additional diseases in the leaf, and we just don't want to promote that. So get under there with your hose and either give the pot a good drink or give the ground a good drink around as they root in. And finally, there's things to know. So the mums that are coming out right now, we're in the early to mid-season mums. So if you're trying to choose what you want for the longest season of color at your house, look for the mid-season. If you want something that's gonna bloom in October, then you're gonna pick a late season mum. So they actually do rotate through. So this petite orange is gonna be a mid-season. That's where we are right now. We're going into the middle of September. As we get to the end of September, petite orange might not show up, and we might get a different orange that blooms a little later naturally. So just some things that'll help you be successful with mums in your garden. And if there's anything else, of course, come on in and see us. And this has been your Dickman Farms Smart Gardening Tip.